Hi, my name is Henry, and in this video, I'll cover three things. 1. What is the APMM program? 2. What are the pros and cons of the APMM program? And 3. How can you get into the APMM program? But before we get started, please make sure to drop a like to help with the YouTube channel. So first things first, what is the APMM program? The Google APMM program stands for the Associate Product Marketing Manager program. You can think of it as an entry-level job into product marketing. And this program is really for new grads and recent grads who want to learn and do product marketing. And when I say recent grad, it typically refers to people who have less than 3 years of work experience. The way the program works is that you would start with a cohort of APMMs, usually 20 to 30 other APMMs. Then you would do a 1-week boot camp to learn product marketing foundations, and then you would be placed on a team based on a business need. You'll do most of your learning on the job from your manager. Your manager will start by giving you small tasks in the beginning, and then as you get better, you'll be given more impactful projects down the line. And then outside of your job, you will also have monthly workshops that's hosted by your APMM program manager, where you get to hear from other seasoned product marketers and also product marketing executives. This is a great way to hear how product marketing is done on other teams within Google, and then also a great way to find a mentor who can help guide you in your career growth down the line. You would do product marketing on a team for a whole year, and then after a year, you would have an opportunity to rotate to a different team based on your own choosing. The way this works is through a matching process. There'll be a list of open APMM roles, and usually the way it works is that you would speak with the hiring managers, and then you would pick the 3 roles that you want. The hiring managers will also have their top 3 preferred candidates, and then the APMM program manager will just match you to the role based on supply and demand. In this case, what you'll find is that APMMs will swap roles because one APMM is leaving, and usually that means that role is open, and then another APMM can come in and fill that role. So what you'll see often is that APMMs will not only just talk to the hiring managers, but they'll also talk to their peer APMMs to learn about what they're doing and if their role is something they would be interested in trying out. This rotation process is great because APMMs have the opportunity to try a different role based on either product, function, and or location. For example, an APMM might start on a ads product within the US. They might rotate to a consumer product in Singapore. In this case, they'll be able to learn a different product, a different function, and experience life in a different country. After the matching process is done, you'll actually go on a 2-week international trip with your APMM cohort. And usually this international trip will span over 2 to 3 different countries. And the reason for doing this is that 1, you'll be able to bond with your APMM cohort. 2, you'll have a nice break between your first rotation and your second rotation. And 3, you'll get to learn from Googlers abroad. In this trip, you'll get to visit Google offices in different countries. And then you also get to learn about the different culture, the different ways Google marketing is done. And most of the time, you'll be learning and enjoying the sites. So you can think of this as a 2-week paid vacation by Google to help you ease into your second rotation. And once you get back from the international trip, you start your second rotation, and the process is similar here, where you learn on a job, you gain your trust from your manager, and then you start contributing at a high level. And once you've hit your 2-year mark, which includes your first and your second rotations, and if you've done a good job, then you will be promoted to a product marketing manager. And that, in a nutshell, is how the APMM program works. It's a 2-year rotational program to get you to learn and eventually become a PMM. Now let's cover what are the pros and cons of the APMM program. So let's start with the pros. So the pro number 1, you get paid well. As an APMM, you would start with a base salary of $80,000 to $90,000. Give or take, then you would have a 15% annual bonus on top of it, and then you would also get stocks every single year. So your total compensation will be around $130,000 to $160,000, and this is great compared to consulting or investment banking because 1, you get to work in tech, 2, you get less stress, and 3, you also get all the perks, which includes free food. Pro number 2 is that you get to learn and have fun. So as an APMM, you learn on the job, which is doing your job, learning from your manager. And then you also get to go to monthly workshops outside of work to learn from seasoned PMMs. So you're kind of like in PMM college where you get to do work and then you also get to learn outside of work. More importantly, you get to have fun. So the APMM program manager would often throw social events for you and your APMM cohort to really get to know each other and bond. And this includes bowling outings, off-sites, happy hours, and much more. And usually this cohort, because you started with them and you get to know each other and you're all in the same location, a lot of people in your cohort will become your friends. Now let's move on to the con. So con number one is that you don't know which team you'll be placed on in your first rotation. So what could happen is that you might end up on a team with a boring product or a boring function or a bad manager. But the good news is that you get to choose your team in your second rotation. And the second con is that you might be treated like an intern. And this is because your product marketing manager and also your team know that you're new to product marketing and that you need time to ramp up. As a result, they might take their time in giving you more impactful tasks to work on. And then also when you're working with cross-functional teams in your role, for example, if you're working with a seasoned PM team or a seasoned sales team, they might also need to take more time to build up their trust in working with you. But the good news is that as you deliver higher quality work and you can show that you can work autonomously, then your team will trust you more and your functional stakeholders will also learn to lean on you more for your product marketing guidance. Next, let's talk about how you can get into the APMM program. There are 4 steps that I think that you need to do to prepare yourself as a candidate for the APMM program. One is to really have a solid foundation in product marketing. And you don't need to go super deep. You just need to have a good knowledge of what product marketing is and what it entails. And the way you can do this is by watching YouTube videos on what product marketing is or taking a crash course on what product marketing is. There are 2 resources that I recommend here. One is you can watch my Product Marketing 101 series, which covers product marketing pretty broadly. And then you can also read my ebook, How to Be a Product Marketing Manager, to see what it's like to be a product marketing manager on the job. That's the first step. Just have some knowledge of what product marketing is. Number 2 is to polish up your resume. And you want to be able to showcase from your resume that 1, you are a leader, 2, you've done marketing before, and 3, you have the potential of becoming a great PMM. So the way to do this, I think, in your resume is 2 things. 1 is to really highlight the marketing work you've done and backing those up with metrics so that you can showcase what results you were able to produce. And then 2, making sure that you also sprinkle product marketing words throughout the resume to show that you've done product marketing related work in the past. And if you want to see a real example of what this might look like, you can check out my resume in the description below. And the third thing is to really have a strong story of why you're interested in product marketing and why you think you'll be a great fit for the APMM program. And the way to do this is to really scan through the APMM website and see what are the things that they're looking for and make sure to have a good story that ties your experience and your interest back to what they're looking for. And the fourth thing is to prepare for your interviews. This means preparing answers for behavioral questions that they might ask you. For example, what's your most proud accomplishment? What's your weakness? What's the marketing campaign that failed? And how would you do it differently? So make sure you have that bank of behavioral questions that you can anticipate, that you have answers for. And the way to do this is to just scour Glassdoor to see what are the questions that they might ask you, and then also look at other threads or forums. And then the second set of questions you need to prepare for are case-related questions. So this includes market sizing questions or problem-solving questions. For example, they might ask you, how many diapers are there in the USA? Or should Google do XYZ in terms of the business? And the way you want to be able to answer those questions is that you want to approach it thoughtfully. You want to have some back of the envelope numbers that you can use to inform your answer. And the recommendation I have here is to read Victor Chain's Case Interview Secrets, which covers how you would answer questions in a consulting interview. And the second thing is to watch case interview videos on YouTube, where you can learn how to problem solve and also ask the right questions. That's all I had for today. The APMM program is a great program for recent grads to learn and do product marketing. It's a great launching pad for people who want to become product marketing leaders, whether that be at startups or large companies, and even founders. An interesting fact here is that the founder of Instagram was a former APMM. So if you enjoyed this video, please give it a like and comment below on what kind of videos you want to see next. Till next time, see you.